If you're spending less than $20 a month for prescription drugs, great. If not, monthlyfeerx.com might be a good option for you. You know, it's interesting. I do have a quote of the day, and it's courtesy of Mr. Tom Petty. In light of the fact that today is 420 Day or Weed Day, here is your quote of the day.
So let me get to the point. Let's roll another joint. Turn the radio loud. I'm too alone to be proud.
Yeah, today is 420 Day, National Pot Smokers Day, National Weed Day. And so, I know there are many people that are against marijuana smoking, that it's legal here in the Commonwealth. And I'm not doing this to disparage you. And as a former pot smoker, and as somebody who has been at the forefront of trying to get marijuana decriminalized, I think we are in a better place today dealing with weed than we were prior to 2016 when voters said, yes, let's finally make it legal for recreational use. That stated, there are many songs that came out prior to weed being legal. The one that I just played right there, that came out in the 1990s. I'm wondering, for those, whether you partake or at a particular time partook, what if you have a favorite weed songs? I made a list. Some of these might sound familiar, some of them may not. Tops on my list. Well, how about what we just heard from Tom Petty? I'm not sure it's tops on my list, but I know it's one that resonates with many people. A couple of others. How about Sweet Leaf from Black Sabbath? Now, there are not too many Black Sabbath fans. When I first heard that song, I said, oh, I got to buy that album. I think I bought that back when I was 16 or 17 years old. For the one song. I'm not a big Ozzy fan, believe me. But I figured, this sounds kind of cool. Just the one song. Got it on an 8-track tape. Another one. Lou Reed, Sweet Jane. And here's one. It took me the longest time, actually, an interview that I read dealing with Paul McCartney and the Beatles. You may not know this one, but once I found out about it, I said, okay, from the album Revolver. And admittedly, until I found out otherwise, I always thought this was about a woman. It's not. It's the song, Got to Get You Into My Life. I wonder if the people that did the cartoons, Roadrunner, Bugs Bunny, and Tweety, and all those cartoons way back when, wonder what they would think of 420 Day. Anyway, let's head over to Studio 6 and 7/8. Jim Phillips has our Town Square Sunday preview.
Morning, Brian. Good morning, everyone. Here's what's happening this week on Town Square Sunday. Vice Admiral of the Narrow Seas, Mark Hurley, will join us with details on the Wicked Whaleboat Challenge. That's coming up May 4th in New Bedford. There's some dissatisfaction being voiced around town about the New Bedford Building Department. We'll check in with New Bedford Light columnist Jack Spillane on that. And we'll learn about a Community Recycling Day, sponsored by First Citizens Federal Credit Union, scheduled for May 18th outside its North Front Street branch. I'm Jim Phillips. Join me for Town Square Sunday. Sunday morning at 6 and 11. 1420 WBSM, 99.5 FM.
Thank you very much, Jim. We will have the Bitcoin Biz Barometer coming up in just a little bit. Oh, a little warning. I was reading at the National Vaccine Information Center. They sent me a release, actually. Apparently, folks that opted for the third mRNA vaccine for COVID, apparently some of them have started to come down with cancer. Now, I don't know how many some are. And by the way, this was in Japan. It wasn't, at least to the best of my knowledge, not here in the United States, but still. And we talked about it quite often. There wasn't enough research done at the particular time that vaccine number 1 came out, but now we're talking the third vaccine. You would think that by now that there would be a little more research, a little more caution. Be that as it may, I'm giving you the yellow flag. Not trying to tell you what to do, but you might want to do a little homework before you take another jab, if you've taken any jabs. 508-996-0500. That's how you get onto the program today. And no, it's not going to be all about 420. I assure you. By the way, speaking of that, not the 420. Speaking of the fact that it's not going to be all about 420. We found out this week that there is yet another reason for yet the continued delay with SouthCoast Rail. Now, I think I told you either last week or the week before that the station in Taunton isn't even complete. Oh, think about that for a second. The station in Taunton isn't complete. How could they ever think that the train was going to run and what it was going to do? Just bypass Taunton and then somehow, some way, we got to go left to go down to New Bedford or stay straight to make our way through Freetown and finally Fall River. So it's still not complete today. Never mind that it wasn't complete in October, November, December. Here we are, 4 months. I mean, we had a brutal winter. So brutal that it's still not done. And the chance of starting SouthCoast Rail in August, that ain't happening. It is not going to happen because whether or not the Taunton part is done, there's still a lot of testing that needs to go on. Now, why some of the testing couldn't go on right now while they're trying to complete the station, I don't know, and I'm not going to pretend like I do. But there is testing, and apparently that testing is supposed to start after the Taunton station is completed. So, I don't know, maybe the fall, winter, the fourth quarter of 2024? I don't know. But I'm wondering, with all of these delays, where's all the money coming from to try to take care of this? Because we are one heck of a broke state. I don't know if you've noticed or not. This state is very, very broke. So that's that part. And to try to take care of how we're and why we're broke, how about this? How about this? And I brought it up like this. I want you to think about it. There you are. And this is me earlier this week. I'm driving back from Newport, going up Route 24, and I'm making my way over to Dartmouth. And rather than get off as I normally would get off in Fall River, I just keep on going up to 195. Well, the Department of Transportation, Commonwealth Department of Transportation, is now considering, they have people studying this, the idea of putting tolls when you enter the Commonwealth. Now, the story that I was reading dealt a lot with New Hampshire. And so if you don't know, you can take either Route 3, Route 93, or Route 95, the major highways coming from New Hampshire into Massachusetts. Can you imagine all of a sudden a toll? Hey, welcome to Massachusetts, pay a toll. Imagine coming from New York. Well, if you're on the Mass Pike, you're going to do it anyway. You know, that part's going to happen. 195 coming from Rhode Island. You know, it's not bad enough that the Washington Street Bridge is busted out and you have to wait. Then all of a sudden entering Massachusetts, and there are those little things overhead, and you got to pay again. Why are they thinking about this? To bring in more revenue. Now, I have mixed emotions about this. One is, you know, if the money was really going to go toward highway repair, I guess I could be down with the program. But you know, as I know, here in the Commonwealth, they say it's going to go in that direction, but it goes into a general fund, and you have no idea where that money is going, how it's going to be spent. Maybe it goes toward the migrants. By the way, the Commonwealth has spent nearly $1 billion sheltering migrants, the majority of which have come from out of state. Majority have actually come from across that southern border. So, do you think I want to have my toll money that would supposedly go toward bridges and highways used for something else again? 508-996-0500. Good morning. Welcome to Brian's Beat.
Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, Brian.
Brian, listen, when it comes to all these taxes, it's the taxpayers like a pincushion, and they keep on poking the needles until they can't fit anymore, and basically the pincushion just rips apart. And that's what's going to happen to our economy. There's only so much you can tax. The more you tax people, the more regressive it's going to get, the more less people are going to go out, more less people are going to use their money, the more people now, you know very well, Brian, people now, their spendable income is being used for food and to pay the common bills, the most common bills, electric, gas for your car, and that's basically it. People are not spending. Of course, you see BJ's busy, for the essentials. But
BJ's is also busy because a lot of people that own vending machines and companies, they go in there because they can get it at a great discount, and I don't blame them.
No, I don't blame them. It's funny they say that. I was there just this week, and they had one guy with a whole pallet full of toilet paper. Yeah, like where the heck is he going with all that toilet paper? But anyway, you're absolutely right. So what they don't get is the more they tax, the worse it's going to get. Because that's what I disagree. I'm sorry, I disagree, and I think you'll understand why I do. I think they do get it. I don't think they care. You're right. You're absolutely right. Because when it comes down to it, they don't care. They don't care because they're not affected by it until. At the bigger picture of this, until we have term limits, until these war chests that they have, that we pass a law that once it's time that they leave office, they're going to donate everything to any kind of nonprofit that they want. Everything has to be given away. And better yet, every re-election, all the money that they have from the previous war chest, they have to start over again. That money has to be donated too. Let's make it equity. Let's make it an even playing field for the challenges. But of course not. That won't happen.
Oh, no, that won't. No. Sounds good.
It's the only equality that they want to tell you to do. not the equality that they want to live by, because they got a privileged lives. Let's face it, politicians are privileged people. Okay, they talk crap. They're professional BSs. All right, they couldn't care both sides. Okay.
Do you ever go up to New Hampshire?
Yes.
And do you notice litter on the side of the New Hampshire highways?
No.
Do you hear a lot of bad things about New Hampshire schools?
No.
All right,
No.
they do have bad things.
But it's changing. No, it does, but it's not. But it's changing, though. Listen, once that governor leaves, it looks like they go more and more Democratic. It's because a lot of people from Massachusetts has moved up there.
Yes, they have.
Basically, this liberalism that's being practiced right now, it's a mental disorder. It truly is, because people go down south. They go down there for the same reasons that they're fleeing. And then they bring those ideas there, and look what's happening to North Carolina. Look, North Carolina, when my family moved down there, like almost 20 years ago, it was affordable. Now they got a Democratic governor, all taxes, all this woke stuff is moving in there. It's changing the school systems, changing everything. Now it's becoming just like up here.
Call it North Massachusetts.
I don't understand it, Brian. I don't understand. People flee a certain liberal state.
Well, they're here. This I do get. They're leaving here, and there's a big report that came out this week. They're leaving Massachusetts because it's not affordable. They can go to North Carolina, and it is affordable, but they'll drive that price up, and then maybe leave again.
No, but it isn't that they drive that price up. They will vote the people in with the same kind of practices that are up here. The same people that you elected up here, you're going to elect down there, and that's what they're doing in North Carolina.
Yeah.
You have a governor race now. It's between the lieutenant governor and the attorney general. It's the lieutenant governor's a self-proclaimed, raised himself up from nothing. He's actually like a black man. Is very well intentioned.
He's actually like a black man.
No. I meant he's actually like a black man, which they all talk about equity. So this man is more than qualified, but he's a Republican. Now you got the attorney general who wants to do all the woke stuff that's being done across these liberal states. And it's a tight race. And he's actually behind, I think, by a couple of points the last time I checked. And this guy's lieutenant governor, and they've done a good job. You look at his past record, everything that you want, low taxes, low government, less government, it's more giving the business and the people the power. And they don't want that. It's like...
I think you're hitting on something that is important. People, when folks are going to go to vote, and thank you for your call, I do appreciate it. When people go to vote in November, they're going to vote primarily their pocketbook, their wallet, their bank account. As gas prices keep going up, that's what they're going to be thinking about. And many people will think, well, maybe Donald Trump can change that. I don't know that he can, but that's what folks will be thinking. The economy, groceries. How is it all affecting me? And the caller is absolutely correct, people have made their way down to the Carolinas. And why are they going down there? Because the cost of living is a lot less than it is in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts. And so they make their way down there. But they bring a lot of the habits from home down there, and then they vote in folks that are like them. And then what happens is, in order to keep the pace, make sure the schools are up to par for all the students, more folks for the courts, more folks in government, make sure the roads are paved and the highway, same things that we have seen take place in our backyard over the past 20 to 30 years. Well, that same period of time, it's going to happen in North Carolina, maybe South Carolina. And then people are going to be kicking back saying, wow, things are so expensive. How did we ever think about coming here? More to the point, the people that have been living there all of their lives, generation after generation, they're going to pack up their bags and try to find a similar place to what North Carolina was at the turn of the century. 508-996-0500. Before I forget, it is time for the Bitcoin Biz Barometer as we measure the universal crypto marketplace. Bitcoin down $3,355 this morning, coming in today at $64,041. Ethereum, $3,064. That's down $194. Binance Coin is down $30, coming in at $560. Solana coming in at $143, down $9. XRP at 51 cents. That's 3 cents lower than last Saturday at this time. Dogecoin at 15 cents. That's down 2 cents. And Toncoin, 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 $6. Same as it was last week at this particular time. That's your Bitcoin Biz Barometer for today, April 20th, 2024, 420. By the way, I mentioned that Bitcoin is down $3,355 from last week at this time. However, Bitcoin is up more than $35,000 from last April 20th. So if you'd gotten in on April 20th, 2023, the price was $28,411. Right now it's at $64,041. That's not bad. Not bad at all. If you had gotten into Bitcoin on April 20th of 2022, well, you would only be up 22,000 from then to now, because 2 years ago, it was at 41,374. Bottom line is always the bottom line. If you're up $22,667 from 2 years ago, this very date, are you upset or are you happy? You might be a little upset because, wow, it was up 35,000. It was actually up 40 some odd thousand. But you're happy, you're holding, you're hodling, as they like to say. Anyway, your Bitcoin Biz Barometer for today, April 20th. My thanks to the folks at coinmarketcap.com, because as always, they give me up to the second knowledge about what's going on in the crypto marketplace, which includes, at least on this show, Bitcoin. 508-996-0500. That's how you get onto the program. And I do appreciate your calling today. Hello.
Hello, Brian.
Hello, Brian. Please turn that radio off.
Oh, sorry, Brian.
That's okay.
But I just wanted to mention, don't forget the Bitcoin halving happened yesterday.
Oh, it did. See, I thought it was coming up in May. It actually happened yesterday, huh? They couldn't wait until 420, huh?
No.
I'm still hearing your radio, man.
Yeah, I am sorry, because it's my daughter's car and I don't know the functions. So I'll have a good day, Brian.
All right, so the halving happened yesterday, which means, go ahead, you can explain it.
It means that only half the amount of Bitcoins are mined. And every 4 years that happens. And every time the Bitcoin halving happens, the year after that, Bitcoin goes up astronomically, if you look at the last 4 halvings.
Oh, and believe me, I do. I do. All right, man. Thanks for your call.
Have a great day.
You too. 508-996-0500. That's how you get on to Brian's Beat today. So what we have so far is this story here. Now, just to recap a little bit. South Coast Rail, almost like being derailed. It won't happen in August. The folks running the show never send anybody down to the area who can tell us when things are going to start. They use Jean Fox. I don't want to take anything away from Jean, but she's a spokesperson. And good spokespeople know, look, if you don't want certain information stated, don't tell it to me so I don't have to make that mistake. One of the things she doesn't know is when South Coast Rail is going to begin. She can tell us it's probably not going to be in August, which I think we knew anyway. I think we knew back in December when they said August that it wasn't going to happen in August. We may not have known the Taunton station wasn't complete, but that's good information to know. Until they get that complete, nothing's going to happen. And if you take the commuter rail from Middleborough next weekend, so starting next Saturday, they're going to be using buses. This is how far behind they are. They're going to be using buses from the Middleborough station to the Bridgewater MBTA station. Why? Because they're still doing track improvements, around that curve that's going to take you from Bridgewater. Instead of going directly to where the Middleborough Lakeville station is, it's going to turn right to make its way over to Taunton. They haven't even gotten that far yet. So how the heck were they thinking that they were going to start in October, November, December when they haven't even completed that part? This is going to be a long train to run. Pardon me for saying that. But it's going to be a long time before we see South Coast Rail. Hopefully in 2024 for those that are really itching to take it. Hopefully in 2024. Toll roads. More toll roads. Didn't we talk about this back when they were changing the exit signs to coordinate the number of the exit to the actual mile that you have been driving? Like we really needed that. And how many people still have in the back of their head what the exit sign used to say, but can't remember what exit that you're getting off at right now? I can remember exit 1 and exit 2 on 140. But I get lost after that. I was driving on the Mass Pike a week ago, and the week before that. If I didn't know that Ludlow was going to be the next exit, not that I needed to take, but that used to be exit 7. It's exit whatever the highway mark is. Was it necessary? That's what I'm asking. Was it necessary? I mean, to me, it sounds like we were just paying people to do work that wasn't necessarily necessary. But I guess that's the way it goes. We're going to keep on paying, and we're going to keep on paying. And now we're going to pay if you want to come back into the state on a highway, they're going to have a toll. That's what the planning stage is right now. And if you don't believe me, go look at CBS Boston News from last night. If you don't want to believe me, go look at the Boston Globe or the Boston Herald. They've got the story. It's unbelievable. It's coming. 508-9960-500. Thank you. Hello.
Interesting you talk about a toll booth, because if you remember, you would remember this when they built the Mass Pike. That was supposed to be tax paid, and eventually you wouldn't have to pay to take the Pike anymore.
Yep,
well,
way back when.
People still paying for the Pike.
You are absolutely right. And they now have an easier way to collect the money between those smart passes that people have in their car and those magnetic things that they have hanging over where every exit used to be.
Yeah,
and they can build that right on Route 24 as you enter into the Commonwealth. They can put one at 195 coming in that way. They're going to be all over the place. Tolls on the bridges going to Cape Cod.
So, yeah, to get on the bridges, you'll have to pay a toll.
Yeah. How does that make you feel?
I'm about ready to leave the state anyway. I don't care anymore.
Where are you going?
Probably New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, if you like being a little bit colder, that's the place to go.
I like it. Hold on really quick. What happened in New York? So supposedly, this is going by the news, a Trump supporter set himself on fire.
I don't know that it was a Trump supporter, but somebody set himself on fire. Thank you.
They feature a full...
Call 508-996-0500. Back to Brian's Beat.
And now it's time for another special feature.
It sure is the weather. Wareham, 47 degrees. Westport, 46. New Bedford, 47. It's always the WBSM app on your smartphone. ABC has all the news they want us to hear coming up at the top of the hour. Then hour 2 of Brian's Beat.
Another saying he has a fairly negative view of Trump based on his negative, divisive rhetoric.
Lawyers for the New York Attorney General asked the Judge Arthur Engoron to reject former President Trump's $175 million bond at his New York civil fraud trial and require him to post a new one within 7 days. The AG concerned over whether the company behind the bond has the resources to pay if Trump's appeal failed. A man who set himself on fire outside of the courthouse where former President Trump is standing trial died of his injuries at a New York hospital overnight. You're listening to ABC News.
Get ready for grilling season with the Burger Perfection Flight for just $89.99 when you shop omahasteaks.com and use promo code QUALITY at checkout. That's 24 rich and juicy Omaha Steaks pure ground burgers. They're guaranteed to deliver an explosive combination of tenderness, juiciness, and unmatched quality. Each 6-ounce burger is guaranteed to satisfy with every bite. That's omahasteaks.com, QUALITY at checkout to unlock this exclusive deal. Hurry, supplies are limited.
Omaha Steaks, America's original butcher.
Offer not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Maxed out cards, rent is due. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
Maybe we should go to 27cash.com.
With our bad credit?
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
The president strengthens conservation protections in the Western Arctic. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre.
President Biden announced that his administration is taking action to conserve more than 13 million acres in the Western Arctic and to honor the culture, history, and enduring wisdom of the Alaska natives who lived on these lands for generations.
The American Petroleum Institute calls the rule misguided. A historic vote by auto workers in Tennessee. ABC's Mark Remillard reports.
Workers at a Volkswagen factory in Chattanooga overwhelmingly deciding to join the United Auto Workers Union in what was a key test for UAW President Shawn Fain's plans to bring more non-union auto factories into the fold.
We got a lot of other contract fights going on as we speak right now. So we're going to continue to build on it and continue to build this movement and continue to bring justice to workers everywhere.
73% of workers voted in favor of unionizing. Mark Remillard, ABC News.
2 United Airlines pilots suspended for violating strict FAA rules put in place after 9/11. Online video shows Major League hitting coach Hensley Mullins traveling on a Colorado Rockies charter to Toronto, sitting in the captain's chair of the 757, even mimicking pushing down the flight controls. When the video was posted to social media, it triggered an FAA investigation. The suspended pilot's now facing possible termination. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Get ready for grilling season with the Burger Perfection Flight for just $89.99 when you shop omahasteaks.com and use promo code QUALITY at checkout. That's 24 rich and juicy Omaha Steaks pure ground burgers. They're guaranteed to deliver an explosive combination of tenderness, juiciness, and unmatched quality. Each 6-ounce burger is guaranteed to satisfy with every bite. That's omahasteaks.com, QUALITY at checkout to unlock this exclusive deal. Hurry, supplies are limited.
Omaha Steaks, America's original butcher.